Hello everybody, welcome back to another day at One Monkey Garage. My name is Dylan. Well, the day is finally here. We're about to prime the vet. If you haven't yet, go ahead and subscribe to the bell notifications so you don't miss any more content on the progress of this restoration. Alright, let's put some primer on. Alrighty, so the Corvette, the only thing I had to tape off is the windshield frame to get ready for primer, as I'm not taking the glass out, but the entire body, as well as the doors, sorry for the lighting here, hang on, as well as the doors have all been prepped, and I'll show you what I use to prep them. As you can tell, we have tarps down. They just roll up to the top of our ceiling. That's how we have it set up. This is our priming area, as it's not a priming to us. You know, we want to keep the shop clean and the area as clean as possible. But everything is prepped and ready. Let me go show you what I'm using. Show you what I use to clean it and prep the surface. What else I still have to do. The surface is 99% ready. There's one last thing that I have to do, and what products I'll be using today. Alright, so in order to get the Corvette surface ready, what I had to do first, now this is optional, however, in the long run, it saves you a good amount of money. We do the initial wipe with isopropyl alcohol. Now I know right now during the COVID crisis, this is actually pretty hard to find, but if you order it off of Walmart or something like that, it's only like $1.90, I think, maybe even less for the actual quart. This is half quart, but it's the same stuff. And you just use regular old Bounty paper towels, alcohol, and keep wiping the surface until when you look at the paper towel, there's nothing on it, it's clean. We use this because it removes the dirt, it dries really quickly, and it's cheap. Now, before you go and paint though, you want to use a surface cleaner. This is by Finish One. Sherman-Williams automotive line sells this. This is a wax and grease remover. It is imperative that before you spray, even if you wipe down with alcohol extensively, before you spray, it gets wax and grease removed. Because the alcohol does a really good job at cleaning, but it's not the best at pulling out greases like your fingertips and everything. And once you do, your fingertips, your fingers, your hands, they have a little bit of oil and grease. This will get it off. Once you wipe the car down with Finish One, no more bare hands on the car. That takes care of wiping it down. Then a tack rag. So once your paint is mixed or your primer, you want to just go over the car lightly with this, and this will pick up any dust or anything that had just fallen down while you were mixing the stuff. It's just a rag that's tacky, and it picks up light dust and stuff. Now, all the products that I'm using today are Eastwood. I've been using Eastwood for about 6-7 years now. Depending on the project and depending on a few other things will determine if I spray Eastwood paint, Eastwood primer, or whatnot. But for the most part, unless I'm trying to do something super, super high end, I spray Eastwood on all my own stuff. It's a great product. It's great for the person that's doing it themselves and that's on a budget. It's all affordable. It's good quality. It's not gonna fall off. I really like it. But because this is a fiberglass car painted in the 60s, the 70s, and I know it's been repainted because it's a base coat clear. It's not a single stage enamel, I think it's what it was, or lacquer based. But I don't know which one it is. So to make sure that I have no ill reactions, we're gonna start off by shooting it with an epoxy. Like I said, we're doing a white epoxy that you can go with gray, or there's many other colors of epoxy you can go with. We're going with white over gray because we're spraying a gray primer, and if you spray a gray epoxy and then you go over a gray primer, it gets kind of hard to see where your last line was. So white's just gonna make it super easy, but we're going with a white epoxy to put the first coat on. It's going to be the barrier between the fiberglass and the last paint job, and then our new primer and paint job. And then last but not least is 2K Urethane primer. This is a high build primer that's going to help fill in any sanding scratches, any little rock chips you might have missed. It's going to allow you to block sand it down and level it out. Now we're going with gray. I want to try and give you all some tips that I wish I had known, my father wishes he had known before we had started. The color of primer you choose will directly affect the base coat, a clear coat color, or single stage color you spray on. A lighter primer will cause a lighter final color. For instance, I have a CJ5 we just painted about 6 months ago, and we went with Tropical Sunset Orange from Eastwood. It's a very pretty color, and you're expecting a little bit of a deeper orange. However, we not sure, but we didn't know enough about primers yet, and we painted a few cars now. I want to say that was our 5th car we painted, but we've never had the issue before. And we've always sprayed with a buff primer. Don't know why, we just always have. And we sprayed that vehicle buff, and we sprayed one panel with that paint and stopped. It looked like safety orange. Did some research. We then went ahead and took a panel, redid it, but put it in gray, and then sprayed the orange, and it was the color we wanted. So do some research on, like, if you have a really dark color and you want to lighten it up, go with like a buff or a buff colored primer. If you're going for a darker color, use a gray. There's also black. And then I think a lot of people actually recommend you go with a white primer. I cannot recommend that nor say it's bad or good, as I've never done it before. I've only ever sprayed gray and buff. I have sprayed a black before, but that was black primer and then a black single stage paint, so there's really no comparison there. Now, one thing I will say about the 2K primer is it does need an activator. The kit comes with it, does need an activator, and this is all you need to spray it, the activator and the primer. That's all you have to have. However, this stuff is extremely thick. It's like glue. And just over the years of using this product, we have learned that if you add a reducer to it, it makes it spray so much better. Is it going to be as thick as it is just like this? No. So is it going to lose a little bit of its high build property? Yes. Is it going to affect anything? Absolutely not. It's still going to fill. It's still going to block. And it's going to make your life so much easier if you reduce it. But those are the products I'm using. Like I said, I need to go ahead and tack the vehicle, get a few last minute things ready, and then we'll start putting epoxy primer on it. Alright, well, today did not go exactly as planned, but it was still a good day. As you can see, it's white. So it's an epoxy primer right now. We were hoping we were going to spray epoxy primer, be extremely happy, wait an hour, and then spray our 2K urethane high build primer and be able to start blocking it this week. However, that's not the case. I'm going to show you why and let y'all know that this is part of the process. Take everything slow, never be in a rush. That's probably one of the biggest things I can give you. If we had been in a rush and we had gone ahead and done all the primers and everything, and we saw these issues, then it would have been a waste of money. We'd have had to redo it anyways. But let me show you why I did not go ahead and spray the 2K, and I just did one coat of epoxy. I'm hoping y'all can, those 3 they look like scratches or dashes. That is actually Let me see if I can get better lighting on it. That is actually 3 gel coat cracks that I missed. So there's 3 there. There's 1 right there. You can see them there and there. So I missed those on the first go around. I really thought I had this thing completely perfect, ready to go. Today was going to go smoothly, but I didn't. My first time working with fiberglass at this capacity. It's a learning curve, and I'm okay with that. You know, overall, I'm thrilled with how it looks right now. It's one color. It's the body work that I was really nervous about was actually very well. For me, I'm very happy with it. And this first coat of epoxy really makes the things that you missed pop. So now what I'll be doing in this next coming week is I will be fixing these individual issues because epoxy primer is designed to be sprayed and worked on. It's how it's designed. Fixing all these issues, sanding it down again. Now this won't be as bad as the initial sand. This will just be a nice quick sand to get it grit. And then I'm going to go ahead, because we only put 1 coat on, I'm going to go ahead and put a second coat of epoxy primer on it. And then as long as that goes according to plan, then next weekend I will be able to spray my primer. But that's going to be it for this video, y'all. Didn't go as planned, but that's part of the restoration process. If you're in a rush and you rush through things, you have to do them twice. That wasn't the case here, but I prevented myself from wasting money by just stopping, taking a step back, and figuring out what I need to do and what I'm going to do, and get a game plan to fix my issue. Thank y'all for watching. If you haven't yet, please go ahead and subscribe. Hit that bell notification so you don't miss any updates on the Corvette, and leave a like and a comment. Let me know what you think. All right, have a great day, guys.